right, let's do it.
All right. First of all, thank you so much for coming on my platform. I want to show you what I got. You see my background?
I see. I got to get that
Okay, now
dribble
check
down
this
on.
out. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna show you my shirt, then I'm gonna tell you what's going on. But listen,
That's
I
Stoudemire.
shirt when Stoudemire was on the
All
team. So I didn't want you for, you know what I'm saying? But when I realized it was your number, I was like, this is destiny.
right. It's all good.
Right. Okay, so let me properly introduce you. So everybody, I would like to introduce you, Mr. Chris Childs, formerly of the New York Knicks. Welcome to Interviews on Demand by Code 31. Code 31 stands for competition officially doesn't exist. 31 is my basketball number. So I incorporate everything into that. And I make everybody feel at home as if you know me forever. So you will not hear any messiness tonight. We're going to talk as if we knew each other forever. So, Mr. Childs, please introduce yourself to my audience.
All right. Hey, everybody. My name is Chris Childs, former New York Knick, New Jersey Net, Toronto Raptor, 10 years NBA vet. Every time I stepped on the court, I try to give it my all, give the fans a show, give the youngins a show of how you're supposed to play the game at every possession, every night in practice. Doesn't matter who they are, what they are, where they come from. It's time to get busy.
That's what's up. So when did you know you wanted to be a professional basketball player?
You know what? Basketball was my second best sport. I was a better baseball player.
Okay.
And I was going to play in the majors, but I had an older brother who they talked about was better than me, that
Okay.
I wasn't better than. So, you know, as a young kid, you're like, okay, well, I can show you better than I can tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I put the baseball dreams aside and worked on my basketball game. And shoot, it was probably since I was about 6 that I knew this is what I wanted to do. It didn't happen right away, but you know, God has a plan for everybody.
Absolutely. And so when did you know you wanted to be a professional basketball player?
When I got to high school, when I
Mm-hmm.
got to high school and saw a few guys from the high school that I went to, they were a lot older. They
Mm-hmm.
played in the NBA. Lonnie Shelton, Steve Smith, a couple other guys. And so, you know, coming from a small town in California, Bakersfield, California, there wasn't a lot of NBA players that came from our city. They was more
Mm-hmm.
so in the bigger city of LA.
Okay.
And so I, you know, I'm always rooting for the underdog. So I was like, I don't care you from LA or not. I'm gonna make it. You
Right.
know, and my mother and father always instilled in us that you can do whatever you put your mind to, but you got to put the work in. And
Absolutely.
I grinded, you know, from high school to college to the CBA, and then I finally got my shot.
So when you were in college, what college did you go to?
I went to Boise State.
Okay. Now,
Yep.
when you were at Boise, did you have an inkling like I'm gonna get there, but I'm gonna have to go the long route to the NBA?
Nah, not really, because my junior year, I was one of the best guards to come out the West. And
Mm-hmm.
so it was Gary Payton,
Mm-hmm.
Tim Hardaway,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of other guys, and I was in Sports Illustrated like, okay, this is a unkept secret here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you get in Sports Illustrated, I'm like, all right, I'm going to make it. And then when I went to the pre-draft camp, me and Rod Strickland got tight.
Okay.
And, you know, Rod played for the Gauchos, then he went to DePaul.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I played against Rod when he was with the Gauchos, Lloyd Daniels, Sweet Pea,
Yes.
all those cats. And they was like, bro, we didn't know you had it like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so they was like, yeah, we gonna see you at the draft and all this stuff, but it never happened. So
Right.
like I said, God has a plan. So I just had to grind even more. And, you know, it was times that I wanted to give up. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest,
Yeah.
because the CBA is hard. You know, the
Yes.
route I had to go to was hard. I had 2 kids at the time,
Mm-hmm.
you know, married, making $500 a week. And so I had to do what I had to do, you know, to take care of my family. But, you know, I stayed strong and kept putting God first, and it
Definitely.
was struggles and struggles and struggles, but He doesn't put anything in front of you that you can't conquer.
Definitely. So do me a favor real quick. Can you back up a little bit?
Boom.
That's good. That's good,
That,
right? Yeah, that's good.
all right.
So on your journey, like on your journey to the CBA, like explain that journey, because a lot of people, they just, I'ma just go from college to the NBA. No, it's not that easy. So when you was in the CBA, like tell us about your grind within the CBA.
Well, the CBA is pretty much like the G League now,
It's G League now, right?
but it's a difference because now you're affiliated with the
The team,
particular team
right?
that drafted you or signed you to come to training camp as a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the CBA, it wasn't like that. It was like it was a meat market. You can get
Yeah.
anybody. You know what
Yes.
I mean? And so everybody there was hungry and fighting for a spot because you know we would take 15-hour bus rides.
Mm-hmm.
You're only getting paid $500 before taxes.
Right.
Uh, your team might fold the next week and you don't have a team, because I played on the team in my hometown that folded.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I'm scrambling to try to find a team. So the grind was real. Uh, the intensity, the
Mm-hmm.
level of competition was real.
Mm-hmm.
Guys fighting. Cats out in the street. Coming in trying to play too, and they fighting, and they might see you out. It was just a lot of um, struggles, trials, and
So
tribulations.
today's athlete got it pretty much handed to them, whereas they probably
Man,
your time, right?
hey, I ain't gonna put. I don't like putting people down. That ain't my get down. But they so lucky and blessed
Yes.
because
Yes.
it was. I mean, I remember I was in Rockford, Illinois, and we had to go to Sioux Falls, South Dakota,
Mm-hmm.
which it was like 20 below zero, 15 hours on the bus,
Mm.
and play. We left on a Wednesday, played on Thursday, drove back, and played again on Friday. Another
Wow.
fit. So it was
Mm-hmm.
different. Then you had roommates
Mm-hmm.
when you got to the hotel. So one of the cats might be, you trying to make it. The cat that's in your room might be smoking weed,
Right.
doing powder or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You like, God, dog, dude, I'm trying to, you
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was a whole different level. Then you had coaches
Mm-hmm.
that didn't really care. All they cared about, they was trying to get called up too,
Yes.
trying to make it so.
So it's pretty much every man for himself.
Absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. It was like
Mm-hmm.
the grind was for everybody, from
Right.
players, the coach, the ball boys, the equipment manager, the peanut guy, the Coca-Cola
Right.
guy, hot dog, all that. It was,
All right. So now the grind is over in the CBA. The first team that calls you up is
hey, you smiling? You might not. It was New Jersey.
okay.
It was the
Okay.
Nets.
Hey,
Willis
listen,
Reed.
I love New Jersey and I love New York. I'm from Queens. I actually interviewed Kenny Anderson and Lenny Cook.
Oh, Kenny Anderson, that's my man. See, we call him Chibs.
Uh-huh.
Chibs. That's my man still to this day.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Willis Reed gave me a call.
Okay.
We had just won the championship in the CBA,
Okay.
and he gave me a call, but I still had to prove myself again
Absolutely.
because he only guaranteed me a partial.
Okay.
I'm like, dang, I did all this, and now I still only get a partial
Mm-hmm.
contract. But I asked myself, okay, if I'm getting a partial, who I got to beat out? And he said David Wesley.
Okay. I remember David.
It was Dave and Kenny.
Okay.
And I was like, shit, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got there, and I was, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Before I got there, I locked myself in the gym
Mm-hmm.
the whole summer.
Mm-hmm.
Like I slept in the gym. I had a homeboy, rest in peace, Jose Wesley, that had the key to our local gym, and he would open the gym and let me sleep in there and wake up and shoot at 3 in the morning, 5 in the morning. Because once I got there, I wasn't leaving, so I had to get myself mentally and physically prepared. And
Yes.
I get there and they trade David Wesley within a week
Wow.
because I would pick him up as soon as he came out the locker room defensively,
Mm-hmm.
to let him know that, hey, nothing against you, bro, but I'm trying to eat. So
Right.
they,
Definitely.
they
Mindset.
traded. I'm sorry.
That's the mindset that you should have when you going,
Yeah, no doubt.
war. You was going into war for your job.
No doubt. I don't care if you're a first round draft pick.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Either you want to be just okay or you want to be great. You know what I mean? And I
I'm
didn't
gonna
want to be
tell you
okay.
a quick story. You're gonna laugh. Do you remember Gay Hemphill from the University of Texas? Female. Gay
I
Hemphill.
know. Yeah, I know the name.
Okay, so back in the day, the school I went to is Mercy College, Division II. Nobody knew about my school back then. So
Okay.
we're in the Bronx. I don't think Riverbank State Park.
Okay.
So everybody's like, oh, I went to NYU, I go to Texas, blah, blah, blah. I said, so I go to Mercy. I went to Mercy College. She was like, what's a Mercy College? I destroyed her. You hear me?
Right.
Like a few years later, I saw her. You know what she said? Mercy College, right? Don't play with me, so I know your
Right.
grind. You know what I mean? You got to
Right.
prove
You got to put yourself on that, and that's why I stayed at Boise State because I wanted to put them on the map. And before I got there, nobody knew about Boise State other than the football team and the blue turf.
Mm-hmm.
But once I got there and I left, then a couple other cats from my hometown came,
Mm-hmm.
cats from the East Coast, cats from Southern California, Northern California.
Right.
And now we got a kid right now that came from Boise State that plays for Brooklyn right now. His last name is Denard or Bernard, left hand white kid. So
Okay.
we starting to, put some guys in the league.
Okay. Okay. So you put Boise State on the map. That's a good look.
Absolutely.
Good look. Okay, so you went to Jersey first, and then you went to the Knicks.
I played 2 years in Jersey. They traded David the first year, and then the second year they traded Kenny and kept me. And so
Okay.
that was my team, and that's when I blossomed. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I had the neon light, not the green light.
Right.
And so New York saw that, and what's crazy about that was I got to go back a little bit.
Okay.
When I tried out with the Dallas Mavericks,
Okay.
and they drafted Steve Alford.
Okay, I remember Steve.
Derek Harper was the starter there.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I came to try out and Derek Harper saw me play, he was like, doggone, dude. You know what I mean? You go make this team because I was doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he was teaching me how to be a pro and how to play pro defense.
Okay.
And so fast forward, I didn't make that team because Steve Alford was a high draft pick. So that was the business side. But to forward the clock, Derek it was with the Knicks. And one of the moves at the end of the season, one of the moves that he taught me, I got him back with his own move and hit the winning basket to beat them at the buzzer.
Mm-hmm.
And so the following summer, I was a free agent, and that's when the Knicks came knocking.
Okay.
And so they sold me on because I was either going to go there or go to the Lakers. So because I always wanted to play, close to home.
Mm-hmm.
But the Lakers only offered me 5 years. New York offered me 6.
Okay.
And so when I saw that they was getting ready to sign Larry and Allen, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna sign with the Knicks because I've always been a Walt Frazier fan. He played the way that I like to play the game on both ends of the court, a leader. He can't outdress me. I dress better than him, but he's still smooth. That's Clyde the Glide. And playing in the guard, it's nothing like it. It's not like that now, you know what I mean? But they have to get that aura back. I wish they wouldn't have never changed the tunnel.
Right.
You know what I mean? The tunnel was a mystique. But once I signed with New York, I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Listen, I was born a Knicks fan. My dad's in the room right now. I told him I'm interviewing Chris Childs. So I told him I was interviewing Kenny Anderson. So he's just like, wow, you doing it. You know what I mean? I had an older brother that was 8 years older than me, and he used to have me in Baisley Park playing against grown men. So, you know, when I coach, it's like, it's crazy too. Like the male coaches out here, they hate us because they can't understand how a female could come in and coach over 200 kids and dominate. But it's just, my brother made me a beast. So when you get to New York and you playing with Larry and Allen, Anthony Mason and Patrick Ewing, like, what was that experience like?
See, it would have been more
Starks.
Starks. Who else we have? And then I ended up playing with Trail, Camby, Kurt Thomas, Herb Williams, Charlie Ward, all those guys. You see, I was lucky because when I got there, I was 25.
Okay.
See, I wasn't 19, so the stage wasn't too big for me. And I didn't have to change the way I played the game to fit into what the Knicks mystique was. It's, you know, hard nosed. I was already that type of player, so I fit in real well. But when I got there, me and Patrick didn't get along.
Okay.
You know, at first because he was used to give me the ball, and guys were giving the ball, but I was like, nah, I'm not giving you the ball right now. And so we had to grow on each other for him to understand that I'm a man, I'm not a 19-year-old kid.
Definitely.
So there's a way you talk to me, there's a way I'm gonna talk to you, but we end up getting that mutual respect.
Yes.
And then we took off. And then with Oak, who was my man, still to this day, we talk every other day. He was like, look, I know how you rock, I know how you play, I know how physical you are. You take care of all the guards, I'll take care of all the big guys. And that's where our connection came, because we come from the same cloth. You know, we cut from the same, because we didn't get there with just, you know, jump high, run fast, shoot better than anybody. But what we had is we would never let another man outwork us. Definitely. That's what we can control. That's what any young kid can control. You can control how hard you work. You know what I mean? And so that was just, you know, God put me in New York, man, because that was just putting on that uniform and coming out in the garden. I got a story though. So I get there my first year. I'm starting. Okay. Charlie Ward was cool because he knew, you know, I was the guy coming in to replace Derek Harper. So it was never no friction between us. So I can't remember. I think we played either Minnesota or Dallas, one of them. And so shot clock running down. It's 3 seconds on the shot clock. Ball gets swung to me. Shoot the three. Bang. Win the game. Crowd go crazy. I'm the man. Go to restaurants. They paying. Boom, 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 you know, the whole nine. Not even 3 days later, we play the Bulls, right? Same scenario. Swung, 2 seconds left. I shoot. The joint goes in and out, comes out. We lose by 1. Man, the guard, and they booed me for a month straight. Because they was, oh, you should have passed to Allen, this and that. I said, listen, I did interviews. I wish I can find them. I did interviews. I said, you know what? I appreciate the fans, but if I get that bitch again, I'm going to shoot it again. And once they saw that mentality that I had, they cheered for me every time I was on the court.
Definitely. We love that, man. We love that.
I was not only representing, I was representing my family first. I was representing the city, you know what I mean, of what it meant to be in New York, to be a New Yorker. And I was representing what's on the front of that jersey.
Definitely.
You know I mean, that meant a lot to me, and it still means a lot to me to this day.
So what have you done since you've been in the league?
Now, you know, my
Who
kids
Chris
are
Childs post NBA.
My kids are grown. I'm a grandfather 3 times over. I train kids every other day. I got about 25 kids that I train and mentor. My son does it in Arizona. I
asked you, did any of your kids follow in your footsteps?
My son could have made it, but he was injured. So, you know, he could never get healthy. He tried out for a couple of G League teams, but
Oh,
he's an excellent trainer. He
okay.
knows talent. He coached James Harden's team.
Okay.
He trains Dame Lillard. A lot of those guys down there now. So
Nice.
he's excellent at that. I got 4 daughters.
Okay.
They're all doing well. Went to college. 2 of them ran track. I got 1 daughter at Clemson playing volleyball. I got another daughter in
Okay, wait,
Atlanta.
saying you got how many? How many you got there now? How
I
many?
got 4 girls and 2 boys.
Okay. Okay.
And 3 of them are 4 of them are older, and the 2 youngest are in college right now. So,
Okay.
and I feed the homeless 3 times a week down here in Jacksonville.
That's beautiful.
Trying to give back. And when I ain't doing that, I'm either fishing or on the golf course.
Okay. That's a beautiful thing. Now, when you were in the NBA, give me 3 of your top moments in the NBA.
3 of the top moments.
I actually interviewed Smush Parker too.
Smush.
Referees now. So I asked him the same thing. Your top 3. If you got top 3, or if you need 5, I'll give you 5.
No, I got 3 that
Okay.
One is, putting on that Knicks jersey, signing with the Knicks.
Okay.
2 is making it to the NBA Finals in '99.
Okay.
And 3 is always whooping Miami's ass.
Okay. What's significant about Miami? I know y'all had a rivalry, but what exactly is what is that moment? Was that the one? Are you talking about the moment when Allen hit the shot, the last second shot, or when just the whole series in general because y'all had that rivalry?
Well, that shot the rivalry first, because we mirrored each other. We were same type of team, Riley, Van Gundy.
Mm-hmm.
But that shot that Allen hit, we were eighth seed. Yeah, we were eighth seed that year.
Yeah. Yep.
And all the stuff that we went through to get there, we got off to a slow start because we made changes. We knew, all we kept saying to each other is, we're going to turn it around. I think we had to win at least 11 or 10 out of the last 15 games to make it. And that's all we said was, if we get in, if we know we can beat Miami, we knew we could dominate Atlanta. You know what I mean? And we knew Indiana was going to be our toughest team.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got through Miami. Al hit that shot. We looked at Atlanta. We knew they were scared. Because I remember we told them one time, I think it was Oak and me, and it might have been LJ, and it was a jump ball or something. And Oak was like, hey, look, if we don't beat them, we'll beat them up. And we just saw the look in their eyes, and we were like, nah, we got them.
Mm-hmm.
But that Indiana series they don't talk about that series enough. They talk about the shot, but that was a tough series, and my hat goes off to those guys. But once LJ hit,
play against Reggie Miller, because my favorite person, the reason why I wore number 31 was for his sister Cheryl, not for Reggie.
Oh yeah, Cheryl was a beast. Cheryl was better than Reggie.
I know that.
Coming out of high school and college, but Reggie, he just worked his behind off, and he would never stop running. And Reggie just flops and does everything. But I enjoy playing against him because I played the 1 and the 2. The 2 defensively most of the time because of my tenacity and my physical ability. And so one night I might be guarding Allen Iverson, the next night I'm guarding Jordan, Pippen, Kobe, Mitch Richmond,
what was
Reggie
that
Miller.
experience like? Tell me from your perspective. Like you just said, you played against Michael one night, and Kobe, then Reggie Miller. Like what? Like you have those memories. Like what is it like to play against so many legends?
It's exciting.
And AI.
You got Rod Strickland, you got Stephon Marbury, you got Terrell Brandon, you got Tim Hardaway, you got Dana Barrows.
What is that experience to every night go up against somebody else that's like amazing? But you're right there with them. Like You know what I'm saying? I'm here. That's why I tell people
Right.
like in the media world, I say, look, I don't care if Oprah's in the building. You gonna know Coach D was there too. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Much respect to her, but I'm not here just to be on the wall. I'm here to do my job.
See, my thing was always, I don't care what walk of life you come from.
Exactly.
I don't care how much money you made.
Mm-hmm.
You got to see me. I'm a man. You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying? I'm a ball player. I'm a hooper. And see the difference between someone that talks hoop and somebody that's a hooper, we would travel far and wide for a game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of these kids, well, I don't want to go here, that's too far. I don't want to go there. Nah, I go anywhere. I don't
Exactly.
care. It can be on the moon. I'm gonna try to get there if that's what the
Mm-hmm.
game is. And
Mm-hmm.
so when I got in the league and I had to guard these guys, it didn't phase me. You know what I mean? Because I'm looking, I'm like, shit, yeah, I got on sneakers. I got on. Let's
Mm-hmm.
let's get busy. Best man wins. You know what I
Definitely.
mean? And at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, you go get me, I'm gonna get you. You know what I mean? And so my job was to defend, and I'm defending to help my team win.
Yes.
So if I got to guard Reggie for 48, I guard him for 48. If I got to guard Michael for 40, I guard Michael. And see, the thing is that I was a student of the game. So let's just be clear. You can't stop a great one-on-one player, a basketball player, offensive player. You can't. But what you do is try to limit them to the best of your ability and push them off their sweet spots.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I was guarding Michael, I'm 6'3", he's 6'6". I can't let him get to the block.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I can't let him get to 10 to 12 feet.
Mm-hmm.
But if I can push him out to 15 to 18, it's to my advantage.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? Because I'm a student of the game. So, I would just, balls to the wall, let's go. I don't care
Absolutely.
how many you had, who you are, how many all-star
Mm-hmm.
games, how
And
many
that's the
MVPs.
mindset you gotta be. When we on that court, we not friends. Cause a lot of times I would see people like admiring Michael and I'm like, oh my God, no. After the game, we could talk, but right now, I gotta do my job. Let's get
During the
it.
season, I didn't talk to nobody on the opposite team. I didn't go out to dinner, none
Mm-hmm.
of that. Now, in the summertime, yeah, we hung out, played golf, whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
during the season, it would never be a guy that came, even if we were friends,
Mm-hmm.
that played for the opposing team can say that we saw Chris Childs out at dinner the night
Mm-hmm.
before the game in New
Right.
York or wherever. It ain't gonna happen. I don't even help. We knock a guy down, we didn't help him up because that shows weakness.
Right.
We didn't shake hands at the at the mid court jump ball. We didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because we were focused on the job at hand, and that was the win.
Right.
Now, after that, in the summertime, after the game, I salute them. Good
Mm-hmm.
game, and I'm still not hanging up.
Right.
That's not how I rock. So, uh, playing against all these great guys, I was great in my own right. You know what I
Definitely.
mean?
Definitely.
So that's how I looked at it. You great, I'm great too. So let's see who will be the greatest tonight.
Right. And look, and you in the history books, and you can tell your kids and your grandkids, look, I played against all these people, so I was a bad man myself, playing against
Right,
all these people.
right, yeah. Like I said, uh, I see myself as one of the best defensive point
Definitely.
guards to ever play in the league. Didn't get the accolades because I wasn't one for individuals.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to win all NBA championships. So
Right.
long as my teammates know what I did, and long as the guys that I went to battle against know the tenacity and the type of player I was, that's all that matters. And fans like yourself and uh,
Definitely.
all of the New Yorkers, they know what I brought to the table.
We definitely loved you here. But I wanted to say, um, if you could go back in time and talk to your younger self, what would you tell them? And if there was anything that you could have changed in your professional career or in your life in general, would you change it?
Uh, I probably I probably would have changed. Well, I would have told myself that in order for us to win, I needed to be a little more selfish. Because it was times during the year and different seasons that I would just pass too much when I would have it going. Like for instance, we played Miami Game 6 when the suspension.
Mm-hmm.
In the first half against them, we were up 3, and I had 18 at the half. Second half, I got trying to get everybody involved, and I ended up with like 23, and we lost by 5, I think, and then they ended up beating us in Miami. So I go back over that, and I should have just took over the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, in the second half, and just let the team, get on my back and follow my suit. But that's neither here nor there now. The thing that I would change, and I've pondered over this for years and years and years. Again, I should have been a little more selfish. After my first year, it was rumblings with the coach and another player. I ain't gonna say his name. That I wasn't giving him the ball enough, and so Jeff and I had a meeting. He asked me would I go to the bench, come off the bench to give more scoring punch and play with that second unit.
Mm-hmm.
And I agreed. And I regret that because I've worked my ass off too hard to go through the CBA to hear my name starting for the New York Knicks, number one, Chris Childs.
Mm-hmm.
So I regret that a little bit, probably 50%, half, that I should have been a little more selfish because I put in the work to be a starter, and I should have stuck to my guns. But things happen in life. We made it to the finals anyway.
Mm-hmm.
If it would have been a different scenario and I was starting, who knows what would have happened. But
Right.
those are probably my two that I regret.
Okay. And where can they reach you on social media?
I'm on IG. I'm on Facebook. I ain't got no crazy name. It's just Chris Childs 1. I talk to all the fans, good or bad.
Okay.
After I've had people talk crazy, and I let them do it. You have a right to say what you want, how you feel about me. That's cool. But at the end of the day, after we get done chopping it up, I'm gonna tell you, God bless and have a good day. And then that takes their guard down because they want me to rev up and bark back. I'm too old to be barking back. You know what I mean? I ain't got time for that. I'm all about positive energy.
Definitely. How old are you now, if I may ask?
53.
I just turned 50.
Oh, congratulations.
January 2nd. Yep.
You catching up. I turned
I'm
53.
Catching up. People don't be believing me, but I was born in 1971.
There you go. I'm a 67 baby.
All right, so before you go, I want you to say your name and say, it's Code 31.
This is Chris Childs. This is Code 31.
And before you go, I want to say thank you so much to my friend Mo for setting up this interview. I appreciate her so much. Like,
Mo
she's
better.
amazing. You know what she did the year before? She took me to Michael Bivens' surprise birthday party for his wife. But the real surprise was she got me to meet Method Man, who is my favorite artist.
Meth, yeah,
so
Meth dope.
Since then, I'm like, Mo, I appreciate you. So I was telling her, look, I'm doing media and I want to interview some former NBA players. And she's like, what about Chris Childs? I said, absolutely. But you know how you have friends that say, oh, I'm going to set it up or whatever.
Right.
And they don't do nothing. So right. I'm like, not even. So she's like, nope, next Tuesday. But she wouldn't tell me until yesterday that it was you that I was going to interview. So she told me give her a shout out, but I was going to do it anyway. So shout out to Mo. I appreciate you so much.
Yes,
Mo better. All right. All right. And before you go, I would like to thank you so much for being on my platform. And anybody you know that you think would love to come on my platform and have me interview them, let me know. This is Coach D and this Code 31 Interviews on Demand. I got to bring it back with the jump shot.
Boom. I see the form. All right, baby.
You know,
take care.
I still got it a little bit. I still got it.
I see it.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. And we will
definitely
keep in touch. Have a blessed day.
All right. You as well.
Bye-bye.
Salute.
All right.